How's it going, everybody? And welcome back to what is probably going to be one of the last main sort of collecting videos that I do for Phantom Hourglass, because majority of the missing items that I haven't gotten yet are going to be all obtained in this video here, aside from a few treasures and some gems. But the reason that I came back to Harrow Island is because there's actually 2 new treasure maps we can dig up, which I actually got on my first little try here, you'll see in just a bit. And I kept getting a crap ton of the root pores for some reason. Not necessarily this part, but I was digging on the other side. I think I had around maybe 600 or 700 at the start. Probably more. But I just kept getting so many of the root pores, and I was just like, ugh. But it was worth it in the end, because I do end up getting another treasure map in just a second. It's at one of these spots. There it is. But I don't know what exactly the odds are of getting excuse me, both treasure maps in the same like little pay period. But I was fortunate enough that I got them both. Because on my previous time, like when I came here last time to get the treasure maps, it took me quite a while, but... And he just did a little threat thing there. It wasn't an obvious threat, but it was a threat. But my last time here, it took me quite a while. I think it took me around 3 times or so. What I did then to save my rupees was just saving and quitting. And this is a frog that I missed in some of the previous videos, so it's just another shortcut for us for when we actually need to come back to this little area here. And it'll make the trade sequence later on a bit easier as well. This is one of the easier designs to draw, I found, because it's just a W with like a little line at the top. Excuse me. So, I don't know why this particular area has the 2 war points. I mean, it's nice there are 2, but I feel that it might be a little better in the northeast quadrant, just because that one's kind of all over the place. But it is what it is. Anyways, after that, we can board this ship here. Excuse me. Got the hiccups. All we need to do here is just defeat the enemies, and once we do that, this is actually how we begin the trade sequence. And the reward, I would say, is... it's alright. I mean, I don't think it's anything game-breaking or anything, but it's nice to have, because it's like a sort of traditional Zelda attack, if you will. And I don't know, I like the way they did it in this game. They have you go from ship to ship, the traveler ships, in all the different quadrants, and that's how we go about getting our reward. So it's a fun little experience that we get to go through, and we get to see some interesting stuff during it. So this is the guy who's going to begin our trade sequence for us. Starting off with the Invisible Hero's Clothes, which Link cannot wear. When I was younger, I always thought that there's maybe a way that Link could wear the clothes that it gives you, or we could get a new outfit in this game, because I was always fascinated by the blue and red tunics in the multiplayer, but you can't get them in single player, unfortunately. Maybe with some mods you can, but as far as I know, you can't. And that's what I thought the courage gems were for. I always thought that those were to change your tunic color in single player, so I'd be on the lookout for them, and just always hoping that somehow the courage gems would end up giving me like the blue tunic, because blue is my favorite color. But alas, I never really got to play too much in the blue tunic, because at the time, this back in 2007, so I was just a 7-year-old, and you do get to play in the blue tunic, blue and red tunic in the multiplayer, but I was really horrible at the multiplayer. It was a struggle bus for me. I don't even know if I won any games, which is unfortunate, but I don't think I ever rage quit. I think that was a little too complicated for me to understand how to do so. You know, all I would have to do is just turn off my DS. I didn't do it, though. So this is going to be our final frog, and it's kind of in a strange spot, I feel. I mean, it is technically as center as you can get for this area, but I still feel like another frog would have been good for this area as well. But I get it, they probably didn't want to make too many frogs, but still, I feel like a 7th, because we have 6 frogs, I believe. So a 7th frog here wouldn't have hurt, but there's only one here, so it is what it is. But I headed to this ship first, and I think this is the wrong ship to go to, because I believe that we need to go to the ship in, I think it's the northwest quadrant next. You'll see. I'll put timestamps for everything, but it's still an experience, I guess, because this dude is knocked unconscious on the floor, and I cannot remember if I did this ship or not. I want to say that I did come down here, like in a previous video, but maybe not. But I feel like I did. So maybe he just gets periodically attacked, and we have to keep rescuing him, so I don't really know what the deal is, but he's been saved, so now he gives us a little treasure. So there's a treasure in this game called the Regal Ring, and I have not seen like any of those up until I believe it's 2 or 3 videos from now that I see them, or see one, and it's like the only one I've ever come across in the game, so I just end up holding on to it. I mean, it doesn't really make any sense to, but I just like always having one of each item, so I don't know. I don't know if there's any way to manipulate the RNG in this game to get yourself some better treasures. Although I have read that if you go through the Temple of the Ocean King and then go to the bottom floor with all the phantoms, spoiler alert, you do have to kill a bunch of phantoms later on. And once you do that a second time, I believe that 2 treasure chests with some high tier either treasure or ship parts will appear. So you might be able to get another Regal Ring that way. But I don't know. And the way to tell which, what is this thing even called? The something scope. It's this dude, because he doesn't have one. And for some reason his eye's glowing. I don't know why exactly that is. If he's like a robot or something. Or his eyes just really strained. But here we have the guard notebook. So now we can head to the southwest quadrant. And that was the goof up that I made, because we were supposed to go there first, but it's alright. And you can't see it in the menu. It doesn't really have any detailed explanation or anything, but it's still fun to see, I guess, because it's like holding it in the hand spots. You're like, what's going to go there? And who knows? Perhaps we'll find out. So we give the guard notebook back to this guy, whose name is something I don't want to pronounce, because it seems a little difficult to pronounce. Maybe it's like Navialibera. I don't know. It's probably not that. And we get a wood heart now. So this one is a little interesting, because we have to end up going here. I don't know if you have to go here first. Banana Island. But if you talk to the mermaid here, she's going to tell you that he's kind of out and about. So obviously he's not here. And I don't know what would happen if you gave her the fish. The last fish required for the heart container. I don't know if she'll give you the heart container instead. I would imagine maybe she would, but I don't know. So we head over to, I believe, the southeast quadrant, and we find this guy's ship, because there's 2 ships now in this quadrant. We give him the wood heart, and at first he acts like he's not giving us anything, but he actually will give us something. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. So I don't know how exactly the wood heart equates to showing love on the seas, but I guess Link thought it might be in some way related to romance. I don't, because like, if all of the Zelda games are canon, does that mean Link's the one making the choices and not us? I don't know. Maybe he's just going along with what we do. maybe there's something more. But you keep on talking to him, and he's just going to keep saying thank you. So you head out here, and then he's going to be like, I got myself something really interesting. So, you guys might be wondering, where is that? Well, it's back on his home island. And I know it kind of looks like there might be a docking spot on the back. And I wonder why there isn't, but to get to the back, you have to go up to the northeast quadrant, and then sail west from there. And then you can get those 2 treasures. And we do have to fight this guy again, which he's not really a super big deal. It's just kind of the same fight as last time. You just keep on shooting him, and then choose R when it pops out. Just rinse and repeat of what we went through in the previous battle with this little monster. I don't know what his name is. I'm pretty sure he has a name. It's probably like Bill or Joe. But he decided to be evil. So we just have to deal with him. But same thing as last time. I don't think there's any new attacks. You just shoot those green little spiky things when they are shot out of his mouth. And I believe you have to shoot his head for the eye to pop out, which I don't know how he's seeing exactly. Maybe his head goes into his mouth or something. But he'll just keep on firing those things if you don't fire back at him when you have the opportunity. So make sure you actually shoot at him and don't just sit for like 5 minutes like I did. Well, it wasn't 5 minutes, but it was longer than necessary. So we just keep on going around and around, and then eventually his head pops out again because I shoot at him. And then we just keep rinsing and repeating. He doesn't have too much health, and he's not really that big of a threat. By this point, with the ship parts, I don't know if I had enough to give myself 5 hearts or not. I actually did upgrade my ship, and I think the last video, or second to last video, I gave myself 5 hearts. But I don't know, I feel like my ship part luck, I've gotten some good parts, but it's just, they don't always all like fit together to give me the benefits, so it is what it is. And I kind of wish they did something more with ship combat, you know? And here's going to be our reward. I forget what it's called. I don't know if it's a scroll or... Swordsman Scroll, okay. And this, you do the spin attack 3 times, and that'll give you the great spin. Or hurricane spin, whatever you like to call it. But I kind of wish they did more with the ship combat in this game. I feel this would have been a better opportunity than Wind Waker. But unfortunately, I don't think there's any way to repeat bosses. Which is a little sad, honestly, because I was kind of enjoying some of the ship combat this time around. But, you know, the fact that we got, like, anything at all, it's pretty cool. So, gotta be happy about that part, right? And here's going to be our last hidden island, where there's going to be, I believe, our final minigame of the game. Which is not terribly difficult. You just gotta write down the route on your map. So set sail over there. And there are 3 different mazes that we have to go through. But you don't have to go through them. If you'd like the rewards, you do have to go through them. Some of them are going to be wisdom gems. I can't remember if there's any courage or power gems here or not. One of the rewards is a heart container. And then I forget what the other reward is. But you do have to do them all if you'd like the heart container. So, a few ways to go about doing this. One, you could just copy the map that I had. Which was thank you. Or not, I guess I can't really thank the guidebook, but the guidebook does a pretty good job at laying out what to do. Personally, I like the Zelda dungeons. A little guide they had better. Otherwise, you can do what I did and just attempt beginner mode, make it take you like 50 tries, and then you eventually beat beginner mode, and then discover that the intermediate is a little bit more difficult, so you end up looking up the guide. Because this is a bit of a struggle, I'm not gonna lie. Some of the minigames in this game are a little too well done, especially that horrible archery minigame. That, I think that is probably worse than the dancing go around minigame, if I'm being honest, because that one was horrendous. But I don't remember Spirit Tracks having anything that bad. So I don't know what the deal is with the whole archery thing. And there's a little shortcut you can make there if you throw a bomb. I believe I did so on my second run through. But whoever designed some of these mini games was just off their rocker or something. I don't know. But all we have to do for the minigame is just go around hitting the little, I think they're gossip stones. I'm not sure. I think they're gossip stones. And yeah, that's all there really is to it. Just hitting gossip stone after gossip stone. And then once the treasure appears, you do have to race your way up there. It does not stay there forever, unfortunately. So, well, the treasure chest does once you open it. So, you do have to be a little quick. But yeah, nothing else really to say regarding Maze Island. They do get a bit more tricky. A lot of the layout's the same. I mean, the layout is the same every time. It's just a matter of getting the different gossip stones. So, next up is the, I believe it's, oh, it's normal, not intermediate, but normal works. Well, I guess intermediate would work. I don't know what I'm talking about half the time. And you'll notice there's a few more gossip stones this time around. And there's actually going to be more on the final difficulty. But yeah, I would say the mini games in this game, just overall, they're kind of hit or miss. Like, I really enjoyed that go-around rolling mini game. That was pretty fun. The ship where you had to hit the targets, that was okay, kind of once I figured out what to do. The archery mini game, though, that was awful, like, horrible. I think the game maybe could have used a little grappling course, using the grappling hook. That probably would have been a lot of fun, I would imagine. So it's a little unfortunate they didn't go in that direction. But, you know, they had to stop somewhere. Like, I guess they couldn't go through all the items in the game. But still, it's interesting that they didn't really choose to have you use too many of the items for minigames. I mean, you do have the archer minigame. That's just making use of the bow and arrow. But aside from that, is there really anything item related? I mean, this one does kind of use a bit of everything, but just none that focus on like bomb shoes or none that focus on grappling hooks, you know? I feel like something like that would have been a bit more enjoyable than that horrid archery game. But it's alright, because it's done and Spirit Tracks does not have anything of that sort. Now, I am kind of I'm thinking about the next Zelda game, and I think I'm actually going to go back to playing the Oracle games, because I do have yet Oracle of Ages linked game to play through. Now, granted, the changes are semi-small. There are some big ones, so I think I am going to end up doing the Oracle games, or not the Oracle games, the Oracle of Ages linked game, just to kind of finish off that little series. Since I'm playing on the Switch version, there aren't any more rings that I can get. Okay, let me rephrase that. I can't get the GBA rings. There are rings I can get through the Oracle of Ages linked game. I think there's like between 2 and 5 rings, I want to say. It's not that many, but unfortunately, I can't get the GBA rings. I mean, I could. I just write down like a generated code. But you cannot get them legitimately because Nintendo decided not to like have the Switch register as Game Boy Advance, which I find a little strange why they made that choice, but it is what it is, and unfortunately we cannot legitimately access the GBA shop or get into the GBA shop because you need to be on the Game Boy Advance for that, but it's alright. You know, that game is a solid game without the Game Boy shop. And for the last expert course on the little Gossip Stone heading minigame, there is quite a lot of Gossip Stones. For the most part, routes are semi the same. Thing is, every time you up the difficulty, there's a new route unlocked, but that's something we can't handle. But seeing the grappling hook usage, I don't understand why they didn't do a grappling hook minigame. I mean, I think in Spirit Tracks there's a whip minigame, isn't there? Or am I just thinking of the boss in that temple that you get the whip? I don't know. I feel like there's a whip minigame, but maybe there's not. But hookshot minigames, like Twilight Princess did that one. It was a little stressful at times. Where I think it's called the Star game or something. That one was pretty fun though. It did just take a little bit of getting used to the controls and just kind of planning out your route. But for the most part, it was a really solid game, so I don't understand why they don't do too many like hookshot related games or grappling related games, or even longshot related, or not longshot, switch hook related games. But the Oracle games did a pretty good job with minigames overall, I would say. I don't know which Zelda game necessarily did the best job with minigames, because there's a lot to choose from, and a lot of games have fun minigames, a lot of them have horrible minigames. It just kind of all depends. Skyward Sword had some interesting ones, like the free-falling one, that where you have to like land on certain rupees. That one was pretty fun. I remember I think there's like one in Spirit Tracks where you ride around in a minecart and have to shoot targets. And there's also that minecart one from the Oracle of Ages, which is pretty fun as well. Shooting the seed shooter. So, a lot of fun mini games. It's just, I guess it depends on who creates them or what the idea is. So, only a few more gossip stones yet to hit, and then we're gonna get ourselves a heart container. Meaning that that is the last sort of optional heart container. I guess they're all optional, but one that you have to go out of your way for to get. The final heart container is going to be obtained from the final temple boss. And then we'll have ourselves, excuse me, a whopping 16 heart containers, which is not bad if I do say so myself. So we are all set with heart containers now. Just gotta get the last one from the final temple. And we get this nice little present from this dude. A big gold rupee. I think this is our second one. And you hit him again, and he's going to let us go back in the maze. To get ourselves that blue wisdom gem. I would recommend getting it after you do all the courses, just so you don't have to, like, restart a course, because I'm pretty sure if you use time to get the wisdom gem, it's probably going to take away like some of your necessary time to complete the said course, so I would just wait until after. But if you want to try doing it during one of the courses, go for it. But then that does put us pretty close to having 20 wisdom gems. Just a few more to go. Actually, maybe this was the 20th one. I can't remember. I either get it this video or next video. I know that before we enter the next temple, I'm pretty sure we can have the second wisdom upgrade. So, I don't know. Just check your inventory, see what you got there. But that is going to do it for this video. I want to thank you guys all for watching. And I hope that you have a good rest of your day.